7 universal laws. Universal law number 4, law of polarity. It's all about seeing the duality but recognizing its wholeness. So in the Kabbalion, law of polarity states, I have notes, it's not like I'm just reading, okay? Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. Whoever wrote that in the Kabbalion, he felt that. This must have been his favorite one. Every set of opposites creates a unity consisting of like the reconciliation and balancing of those opposites. So the Kabbalion also states that two contrasting sets of qualities are actually just two aspects or phases of the whole and not two separate distinct things. So together they build the unity of the phenomena. Okay, so we're gonna speak a little bit of English here. So let's think of hot and cold. They appear as two opposites, right? But in fact, they are the same thing. They're both temperatures, right? But they're different degrees of temperatures, literally. So that's why law of polarity states that opposites are the same in nature, because hot and cold are both temperatures. They're the same in nature, but they're different in degree, which means, you know, different in vibration or whatever that constitutes, you know, their distinct separateness. In everything, there are opposites. There are opposite aspects. Everything has its poles. But these opposites are really just two of the same thing, but with many varying degrees between them, meaning different vibrations between them, if that makes sense. On the scale of life, in between undifferentiated matter and spirit at its purest form, there are many varying degrees, infinite degrees in between. It's the same with these poles. My camera just cut off on me. Fuck you, bitch. Just kidding, I love you. Don't do me like that no more. Have you ever ran water like so hot that it's cold? Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Or like water that's so cold it feels like it's burning you. To me, those are like physical manifestations of the law of polarity, like different degrees but same thing. So the same, let's use the same kind of example of hot and cold, but let's use it on the physical plane of hate and love, okay? There's hate and there's love, and they seem to be such opposites, right? But there are degrees of hate and love. And then there's a middle point in which we would use terms like and dislike, which shade into each other. And sometimes we don't know if we like, dislike, hate, or love somebody. That's where love-hate relationships come in. All are simply degrees of the same thing. The Hermeticists consider this to be of high importance. They considered the fact that it's possible to change the vibrations of hate and the vibrations of love in one's own mind and in the minds of others. So the Hermeticists, you know, their idea of will and intention, their idea on this is there's a possibility to, you know, change how you feel about someone and change how someone feels about you. So the Hermeticists also believe in this whole like good and evil. No, there's no such thing as good, there's no such thing as evil. They are but one and the same. They are poles of the same thing. And the Hermeticists believe in the art of transmuting the evil into the good using this law. So let's take a look at a little bit more scientific part of it. When we look at everything scientifically, law of polarity states that everything can be separated into two wholly opposite parts. Everything about life, every aspect of life. And in those parts, both contain the potentiality of the other. So, in a physics point of view, it's been observed in laboratories that when you collide a positively charged electron with a negatively charged electron, there is an explosion, a little explosion, and both are annihilated, like both are dead, both are gone. But out of that death, gamma rays are produced. So a positively charged electron and a negatively charged electron, when they are collided, an explosion happens which kills them both. They're both annihilated. But out of that annihilation, gamma ray photons are created, which is light. And it's actually higher frequencies of light. So when positive and negative come together, they produce light. This is the whole idea behind the yin and the yang. In the darkness there is light, and in the light there is darkness. But when you collide two opposites, there becomes light. And so when you take a negative emotion in your life and you see its potential for a happy emotion, a happy feeling, which is coexisting in there, even though you don't feel it, when you find it, your negative emotion will just dissipate. That is law of polarity. How do we use law of polarity in our own life? By recognizing in your negative emotion the potential for an equal positive emotion and focusing on that, and then your negative emotion dissipates, and out of that is birth love. It is very important using this law to learn how to surrender to whatever shows up in your life, to whatever events that may occur, any conditions, circumstances, and understanding and have the faith that all things working around you, whether they're perceived as good or not, are working for your higher good and for your highest potential. Coming to understand these things should, give you some tools to be able to mold, work with, create the quality life that you deserve. Law of polarity exists for us to see that in every problem, as cliche as this shit's gonna sound, in every problem there is an answer, literally. Within every perceived failure lies success, literally. And it's all about choosing to focus. It's all about a choice here, because we know that both exist, but which one are you going to polarize with? In order to manifest what you want, you have to predominantly place your focus on the positive pole. Everything has poles. We know we can think negative, but are you going to choose to polarize on the positive pole? Focus. We know how to manifest. It's focused intention. The quality of consciousness you hold in any circumstance, high frequency or low frequency, will be the end of the spectrum that you are polarized on. Which one do you want to polarize on? But take personal responsibility for whatever pole you do end up on. Sometimes we are going to end up on the lower pole, but take responsibility because it's in your control, and we learn that. It's just about focus. The only factor that determines which end of the spectrum you'll be on is what you believe to be true. What you give attention to produces a vibrational resonance, which, thanks to the beautiful unfailing laws of the universe, will only bring you that same identical one. In reality, there's no good, bad, there's no right, wrong, you know what I mean? But only unconditional love. This love is telling you, ask and it is given. So acceptance of whatever you are experiencing acts as the antidote, acts as the polar opposite of resistance. And so acceptance will attract more of what you desire. Acceptance for whatever's happening. Learn to express sincere gratitude for whatever's happening in your life. Crazy, bad, it doesn't matter, because you are universally supported, you are divinely supported, and you are watched over. God knows what you need. So when you acknowledge that one-sidedness is just an illusion, it opens doors for you. It opens the doors to see everything for how it truly is. There is divine order in all of us, in the universe, and everything that's happening. So as you allow yourself to experience both sides, the positive and the negative, simultaneously, while finding the positive in both, you are opening yourself to the divine perfection of the universe, and you'll start to see that more all around you. The purpose of the universe is equilibrium and harmony and synchronicity. The universe is both a destroyer and a creator. Stars explode and die, and from them, what is birthed? The potential of new planets, new galaxies, new solar systems. It's all in one. Destruction means creation, and creation means destruction. They're all intertwined, and you can't have one without the other. So see life for what it really is. So if you see destruction and creation taking place simultaneously in your life, you will see truth, and it will open you to see even more truth. And just as pain and suffering exists, so does opportunity and betterment of ourselves, thanks to the law of polarity. So that is the law of polarity, folks. Thank you guys for watching, and I love you so much. Leave me a comment because I love reading it.